All right, guys. Welcome to episode 66 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, tonight's a great show. We've got guest co-host Mr. Adam Dorey is going to be on with me tonight. I'm kind of excited about this change of pace. You know why he's on? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Doesn't matter. It's going to be fun. And Eric is going to have some fun while he's not on the show tonight. But we're going to talk about drag and drive events, Six Summer, all the events that Adam has coming up. Rocky Mountain Race Week, which is going to be happening at Tulsa. That's going to be fun. We got Carl Stancell the third on. We got Brian Acton on to recap Drop the Hammer. We got Greg Jones and Jonathan Stonecipher on to discuss upcoming Six Summer and how Greg is going to dominate and just smack some bootay while he goes up there in his Rocky Mountain Race Week class winning Nova. All right, I'm going to bring Adam on here in just a second, but first, let's play the intro video. We're going to pack things up and hit the road, try to make it the next day. All right, guys, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat show. My name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of the Drag Drive Repeat show and news. The news happens on Saturday mornings, and typically I have a gentleman here to my right that's Eric White, but you know what? He's not here tonight because him and Jeff Oppenheim are hanging out because Eric's in Pittsburgh for work, and I can't imagine a better person to give you a tour of the city. So let's bring in my guest co-host tonight, Mr. Adam Dorey of That's Cool Drink, the voice of Rocky Mountain Race Week, the voice of Sick Events, the voice of Mod Nats. Dude, tell every I missed about half of the ones that you announced it. So introduce yourself, tell them who you are and all that stuff.
I'm doing everything. I'm basically I'm making money with my mouth. I am, and in in the hoariest way that sounds. That's what I'm doing. But no, I'm a free agent. I'm working for everybody that'll pretty much have me. Man, Havlic's Fastest Streetcar deal. I'm going to be on. That's going to be Gangster with Al Tucci. So that's going to be that's bucket list type stuff right there. I got to announce with Brian Loans at the Indy 800 with a Cletus event on Freedom Plus. That was awesome. So I'm getting a chance to see and hang out with a bunch of my folks. But this is cool. Yes, I'm gonna be on Six Summer. It's a funny story. I think we talked about this. I'm not sure with who. I've been on a bunch of podcasts and stuff. I was on Cooper's podcast. I was on the Clutch Burners podcast. Yep. So, but I was it's funny. Luke reached out and said, "Can you make it to Six Summer?" And I said, "Dude, I am going to get fired from my job. I can't ask for any more time off. I appreciate the offer, but no, I'm out." That was on Monday. On Friday, I got canned. So I reached back out to Luke and I said, "Are we? Can I still do Six Summer?" And he's like, "You're in. Let's go."
Yeah. Would you still have me, please?
Right.
I need
exactly.
opportunity.
Exactly. And on top of that, Tom's offered me the ability to write a few articles for Sick the Mag as well. So lots and lots of stuff happening over there. And that's helping kind of keep me afloat as well. He's paying me for that as well, which is cool. Tom and Sick the Mag are also sponsoring the presented by at Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week for 2024 as well. So presented by is basically the live stream sponsor and the announcer sponsor. So he's covering me at that event as well.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Matt with Rocky Mountain Race Week is covering me at the Havlicks Fastest Streetcar Shootout. So Rocky Mountain Race Week is a sponsor at that event as well, and he's covering all of my expenses. So shout out to the people kind of getting behind
Yeah.
me with all this stuff. And Mod Nats is one that I've done for years, and that's been a really, really cool race. And it's on Veterans Day weekend always. Unapologetically, it's run by a Special Operations Air Force vet. I'm a Special Operations Army vet. They have a ton of veteran racers and stuff out there, so that's cool. That's a lot of stuff coming up. Obviously, Rocky Mountain Race Week, and lots with Freedom Plus. Those guys have been really feeding me some work, and that's cool because that is a lot of high profile stuff in front of a ton of people. And the more I get my name out there, the better it's going. So, yeah, dude. And I just finished the O'Reilly Aztec 200. The first episode just dropped. There's 2 additional ones coming. There's one this Saturday and one the following. That was with Derek Beery from Vice Grip Garage and Alex Taylor from Alex Taylor Racing, Tate Morgan from the Gambler 500, and Tony Angelo from Stay Tuned and formerly Hot Rod Garage. So I'm doing it and I'm making it happen. And like we were talking last night on my show, I'm not getting rich, but I'm not getting poor. So it's good enough.
That's the dream. That's the dream, right?
Exactly.
Surviving, doing what you enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be cool. I'm going to be doing Carney's cruise night, and they've got the Rocky Mountain Stick Shifters coming up there. I don't even have my calendar in front of me, but that's going down as well in July. I worked in walking tacos into my pay for that one. Ooh, so I'm getting 2 walking tacos. I got a tech card for Stevie with the Cadillac in my pay with that one. And that's pretty much it. They're getting my hotel, walking tacos, and a tech card.
I love that. Like it in your rider, I think it's what celebrities call that, right? Like, listen, I need 2 walking tacos.
Right.
I need a tech card, and I need you to cover my hotel just so I can.
And that's it. And then give me a couple $100 for fuel, and we're there. Let's go. So
that's great, dude.
Anyway, man, lots of stuff going on, and I'm blessed. I'm excited to do it. Yep. When we first talked about this kind of happening, I was scared out of my shorts.
Oh yeah.
And I'm good. I've got something every month now through December. Awesome. I don't have a January race, but I have February again with sick week. So, dude, it's great. I'm not getting rich. I'm not getting poor.
Well, hey, we can't ask for anything better for you, and I can't wait till you're so busy. You're like just trying to chop up. How do I got to leave one event early because I got to go to another one. I can't wait for that for you. All right, let's get this thing kicked off.
Totally, dude. I do have one real quick. I've got one. I'm doing a Volkswagen race at Extreme Raceway Park. I'm doing that the day before Rocky Mountain Race Week. We finish, so it's a Friday-Saturday race, and then I'm driving Sunday morning to Rocky Mountain Race Week. So I actually have 2 back-to-back races in Texas in September. It's going to be wild.
Gosh. Dude, I can't wait. That is great. That is great news. I love it. And all right, let's get to this thing because we got great guests that are already downstairs or whatever we call them, and we got to get to it. This is going to be a little different for Adam because we're going to crank through this. Adam does a lot of great interviews on his podcast, As Cool Drink, and I love watching and listening to those. And you just dropped the Michael Narks, Steven Narks, I guess podcast the other day. That was fun to go back through and listen to that.
Definitely, yeah, and yeah, we are dropping full on podcasts. I'm doing YouTube stuff, and it's going to my Facebook as well. I'm about 20 episodes behind on the actual podcast.
That's all right. That kind of lets us relive that stuff. All right, guys. Well, we can't do this without our friends that are out there, our race car friends. We can't do that without you guys. So please do me a favor, hit the share button as we come in here. Let these guys know that everybody's out there watching. We're looking for folks making comments as well over there. And we can't do it without our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, Howard's Cams, Performer Built Transmissions, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And our newest media partner, PowerTube. And we're dropping another new sponsor later tonight. So I'm excited about that.
Oh.
All right, dude. Let's get to it, man. Summit Racing. big supporters of ours here at the brand. So I'll do an ad read, and then we're going to talk about some of the cars that they posted up. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. Fueling your passion, they save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Adam, you hear that? 1,500 brands. You know they have that many?
It's a lot of brands.
A lot of brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can also find them on their podcast, On All Cylinders. And if you like, discussions like what we're having tonight, from humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything you need on summitracing.com. And they're at it again, dude. They made a post. Hey, we want to see trailers. We want to see people hauling stuff on trailers for Trailer Safety Week or something like that. I think was the excuse they needed to make a post of Tommy Dupree's. Right? Yeah, Tommy Dupree's Firebird pulling his drag and drive trailer. Dude, drag and drive's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. So
it's the hottest thing on that's happening right now. And I mean, shoot, those 8 cats just did that deal in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And all this is all good. You guys getting all of the drag and drive folks in front of people to do these things and show this stuff off. A bunch of those dudes brought their trailers with them to that stuff. This is cool. This is good times.
Yep. So I wanted to run through. I grabbed a few pictures from the Summit Racing post that was just names I recognized off the top of my head, or people that had race car trailers behind their race car. So this is Nick Schaaf's trailer. Jan Haas, obviously, we know that dude. He's a long-time Rocky Mountain race weeker. Got Gary Stancell on the left side there, and Jake Foster on the right, and the red hat Scotty.
Red hat. Yep. And you can't take that hat.
Yeah, don't take the hat. Don't take the hat. He doesn't like that. Not even.
No. Not funny.
Yeah, not funny. And then Dan Palmieri, throwing his stuff in there. There's
and that's
than a race car pulling a trailer.
And that's the best thing ever. It's got a Circle D sticker on the back, and that car's got a clutch in it. Yeah. And Circle D also sponsored the stick shift class at Rocky Mountain Race Week a couple of years ago. Ironically.
Yeah. Would you have it any other way?
I would not. I would absolutely would not.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense because, if they sponsored one that had automatic transmissions in it, their converter would probably win that class anyways. And you can't have that.
Right. You gotta expand your horizons, get it with the clutch guys. And hey, if you guys get sick and tired of breaking parts and going slow, call us at Circle D. We sponsored your class.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, again, I want to say thanks to Summit, and definitely, guys, you got to go follow them. They're always posting fun, goofy stuff. And I think this post had 180 comments in it or something in 6 hours. Yep. So, Drag and Drive is where it's at, obviously. All right, let's talk about the Molly Motorsport co-pilot spotlight. Now, Adam hasn't seen any of these notes, but he's going to love this dude. So let me do the ad read, and then we're going to talk about maybe one of Adam's favorite motorcycle racers. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and sportsman class racers. Meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for Power Pack performance. The Power Pack pistons. How many times can we say that?
Power Pack pistons.
Are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances.
Am I locked up? Is Mike locked up? Dang, Mike is locked up. Okay. I don't have the co-pilot deal, unfortunately, and I also don't have the ability to co-host this. He sent me the link to do that, and it's stuck in my email somewhere. But hey, here we go. Co-pilot stuff coming up. One of my favorite motorcycle racers. I bet it's Pat Cook. We'll talk about that soon. But sorry, guys, I didn't know I was running the show now. But Molly Pistons, big shout out to them cats. I have Molly Pistons in both of my rides that I just finished engines in. The Malibu has a set of Molly Power Pack pistons. and the Cadillac has a set of Molle Power Pack pistons. And thanks to those guys so much. It was super cool. Eric over there got me pistons as a engagement gift for the Cadillac. So that was a very cool and unexpected surprise. But took the Cadillac today to Wall, South Dakota. We went to Wall Drug. It was about 50 miles one way. So 100 miles kind of shakedown on that car. It has a 383 iron LS in it, and it's still a 6-speed. And hey, we're back.
No idea what happened there.
Dude, I was just talking up Molle pistons because I've got them in both of my cars. So I was like, hey, I drove my car to Wall Drug today, and wow. It's got brand new Molle Power Pack pistons in it. And the coolest thing about those pistons is they come with rings, everybody. Yes. So when you're looking at pistons, don't look at just the price of the piston. Look at the price of the piston plus rings, and Molle is going to be in that ballpark. I promise you.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty funny. And what I was saying there before I was cut out was that Adam doesn't even have co-host responsibilities yet. So he can't even like bring on the guests or anything. So it was fun. I was going to bring it up on my phone. Anyways, let's get on to it. So our Molle co-pilot spotlight today was submitted by Mr. Pat Cook.
Yes. That's what I assumed. I told the audience, so everybody in the chat bleachers knows that I think this was going to be Pat Cook.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I wanted to bring it on because he tells a funny story. He said he submitted his co-pilot spotlight for all of his fellow racers. Said everybody is his co-pilot. And he said, so in that part, it says, tell us a story about how your co-pilot saved the day. He said, the most helpful person at the circuit was Jesse Fox. He helped me get out of my own head and run my best passes of the event and my first 10-second passes ever. Riding a motorcycle stinks because you don't have a co-pilot, but it's great because every racer at the event ends up being his co-pilot instead. He said they can't help with the vehicle, but the time together having fun and the hundreds of times I get encouraged makes the event go so much better. I've never raced with a co-pilot, but I've never felt lacking in anything. Thought that was kind of cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, that's definitely a thing. Them motorcycle guys, they are crazy as can be.
Yes.
But that's one of the things. Like when I was talking to Pat and I was talking to Shane about riding motorcycles, and you have the route in a little like thing on your gas tank. You can only see a little bit. Like I don't think Pat's Grom even has a trip odometer. So all of the the steps and stuff, you just have to kind of guess and hope. But yeah,
and he's too slow to be able to ride along with people.
Right, so exactly, and especially when he's in the Rocky Mountain version of that. I mean, we go to 5-digit elevations, and that thing has like 12 horsepower at sea level, and you take it to 10,000 feet, it has about 8. So good for him.
Yeah, he's pushing along with his feet. So if you would like to submit your own Molle Motorsports co-pilot spotlight, find dragdriverpete.com/co-pilot spotlight. We've had a bunch of people submit. We try and do at least one a week, if not 2. So during the show and news. All right. Well, the reason we're going to we're moving on here to the event updates because we got a lot of fun stuff and we've got guests on tonight that actually, this is one of the first times we've ever done the promoter and then a racer within an event at the same time. So let's run through some driven racing oil stuff. I want to talk about 2 new events that are on the horizon for this year. We've got Dragway Rush, which is a new event in Ontario.
The Hard Ass 1000, baby.
Yep. So Dragway Rush is a new one, Ontario, Canada, August 23rd, 24th. Grand Bend Motorplex to St. Thomas Dragway. This is what I like about this event. They're going to race Grand Bend in the morning, 10 to 2, and then they're racing St. Thomas that Friday night. So that same night. So same day, 2 different tracks. I dig the heck out of that. And then back to Grand Bend for the Saturday morning racing to finish it all up.
Cool.
That's a cool, brand new event. And then for our 40th event to be added for the season, the Hard S 1000 is doing a fall event for 2025. So
hell yes.
And it's a 5-dayer. So they're going for it, man. October 1st through 25th. Yeah.
If you guys don't know, those are the dudes that did the twin turbo Chevelle that they just pulled out of the field on Drag Week. And did it with a tired 396 and it had a 4-speed and junk. And then they came back the next year and it had twin turbos sticking out of the hood. And maybe the best drag and drive photo of all time is Keith Turk in tech looking at that car, and he's holding his heart like my lord. And these guys Aussied it. It's got the turbos are hanging out of the hood. It was wild, and it went from like a 13-second turd, and they were, I mean, bringing beers into Denny's and stuff, and it was wild. And they brought it back, and it went 8s, and it was gangster. But those dudes are cool.
And they packed 4 people in it. Like 4 adult men were in that car. It was pretty intense. Yeah,
it's
pretty good. I can't wait to see how that event goes because their first event went absolutely wild, man. It was a great one. And I had my number wrong. This puts us at 38 events, not 40. Apologize. So 38 events. You can find the full list at dragdriverepeat.com/event list. That gets you there. And then I want to talk about the Olympic Drag and Drive, and then we're going to bring in the guys from Drop the Hammer. So Olympic Drag and Drive, obviously this last weekend, May 31st through June 2nd, coincided with Drop the Hammer. 2 regional events, completely different parts of the country, almost different sides of the country, Michigan. And this one was in Washington, Port Richard, Washington. 70-ish cars. I hadn't seen the final numbers on it, but somewhere around 70. And I feel like that's a huge win for the West Coast, dude. Like that's a lot of cars, especially for a regional event, especially for the first years. And even the promoters from BC Drag It Challenge came down and raced in this one. So I think that's always good when you got other event promoters that are racing in other events, you know, different ideas, different sites, different things that you think of when you're going to host your next one. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And the West Coast has kind of been a bit of a vacuum in drag and drive for, for a bunch of different reasons. And it's super cool to see them, really coming in with a vengeance. And dude, Corey Thompson won Unlimited in the Olympic drag and drive. That dude, that dude is a certified gangster.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Laid it down big time. And then did you see that, that Donovan Linwood came in second in their so hang on, let me run through here. So let's go back to the first one here. So we got like their 750 index, a guy named Scott Hasbrock won that one. And then Radioactive Fab Hot Street, which is the picture on the right here. Ryan Stanley barely won it. 650 index, won at 654 with a 6. And then Ryan Young 6560.
Nice.
0.014 back. And
yeah, dude, index stuff is gangster. I don't care who you are. That's the best racing that there is at drag and drive stuff is dial your own and index stuff.
Because everybody's awesome. Gotta be so tight on stuff. The RM Collision Limited Street, which is a picture on the left, Todd Brenton 548 in that one, barely beat longtime drag and drive racer Donovan Linwood, who's not pictured here, with a 5511.
Nice.
So I don't know what that is, 030, something like that. 03, whatever.
Blink of an eye. I mean,
23 or something like that.
It's like a foot difference in a 660-foot racetrack. I mean, that's nothing.
Over 3 days of racing.
Right.
Yeah. And then, of course, our boy Corey Thompson wins the Unlimited class, 556 average. Dude, I think he was probably as excited to not have to drive a day and a half to get to an event than he's ever been for any of the other events that he's attended.
Agreed, dude. And I mean, obviously the Chevelle's still working. He does have, I think, new turbos on that for this year. So it might be making a little more chooch, but I think reading some of his posts, it was basically just a tuner's race. The tracks were not holding the power that he was making, but whatever, dude, that dude's a gangster. I'm really, really excited to see him already stacking some trophies this year.
Oh yeah. And he's earned them too. I mean, he really puts in a ton of work to go and do all that stuff. All right.
He does.
Let's talk about Drop the Hammer, and then we're going to bring these guys in. Shout out to Hard Target Images. I pulled these pictures, a lot of these pictures that we're going to show during this interview time, right from the Drop the Hammer Facebook page, but Hard Target, primo stuff, man. Primo stuff. So let's go ahead and bring in Carl and Mr. Brian Acton. See if we can stack them all in here. Yeah. Brian, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Let's start with Carl, because the first struggle that I think was coming into this was the sadly having to cancel last year because of rain. I mean, that's what happens to some events. But dude, I think that probably made the anticipation leading up to this event so much better. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, it was. It was sad to have to cancel it last year. I mean, we were watching the weather, and 2 days before they were calling for rain throughout the whole weekend. And there's no way I wanted to put the guys through that and not be able to race. So it was quite the build up to this year. There are a lot of people that were really waiting for it and excited about it.
Yeah. And you guys had a bunch of cars, bunch of really cool things I'd never seen in the past. A lot of cars that had banners on the windows, but I'd never seen those out anywhere.
Yeah, there was a whole range of cars. You know, obviously Don Bailey, Steve Morris, Clark were all there. But the picture up there right now, he does roadkill nights, and he's
Nice.
dominated roadkill nights. And you know, this is his first drag and drive. So you know, it's getting other people out there, you know, doing it more. You know, we had a guy with an expedition that had one of those rascal scooters that, you know, it was a real pain in the butt to take the carriage off the back, and they let him run with it. And it was cool that he was able to do that, and you know, he was consistent. I mean, dude took second place with a 0.008 spread in dollar your own. You know,
dude, so awesome.
He was having fun. It didn't matter what you're driving.
Yeah,
you're having fun, and that's what it was all about.
Yep.
Wow, that's so cool. And it did look like you had a big wide range. And Clark brought out the Camaro. Dude, we hadn't seen the Camaro in forever at a drag and drive. The old Camaro, the fourth gen.
Yeah, not his fifth gen.
Yeah.
Yep. It was his old one.
Yep. So I wanted to ask, like, what are some of your, I guess, I hate to say favorite cars, but what are some of the ones that maybe stuck out to you that attended?
You know, that's just it. They all stuck out. I don't have a favorite one. I can't pin a favorite one. You know, everywhere from
I can appreciate that.
Ryan's Nova that is deadly consistent to, like I said, the Expedition. We had a gasser there. We had some fast cars there. You know, I loved them all. It was great seeing them all there. You know, people that traveled, it was great. We had somebody from North Carolina. We had somebody from Iowa, New York. You know, it was just, they're all awesome cars. I can't pick one.
Well, and I think that's one of the coolest things about these events. People are beginning to, well, I mean, you guys see it all the time. They stretch their legs. They're going to tracks they've never been to before, and they're using drag and drive as a way to do that.
No, that's no joke. I had only seen like Colorado tracks my whole life, and started doing drag and drive, and then I mean, bang, 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 bang tracks. Six Summer is all new tracks for me, all brand new tracks. And Rocky Mountain Race Week, we were doing Mocan, so that's a new track for me as well. It's the coolest thing, really, traveling to race. And I've got a couple of sick articles coming up, kind of like that. But getting out of your comfort zone and doing it in your hot rod and doing it with 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or your closest friends and doing it like as a group of people and checking it all out. There's nothing like it in the whole world. And it's so cool seeing new people get their stuff out and get them on the road. I love it. Like that GTO. That's so cool, man.
Well, and for a guy that has done roadkill nights, that guy knows he wants to do one. Now he's had an opportunity to do one. I guarantee you the next one he does is a week long.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about favorite route stops, and I'll ask Carl and Brian that question.
Go ahead, Brian. Let's hear what you say.
So for me, I really enjoy, similar to the circuit, the back roads and staying off the interstate, staying out of the big cities. Most our cars can all do that stuff, but it's just like, it's not enjoyable to be in bumper to bumper traffic. And so the back roads routes are my favorite. We went to a covered bridge that is local kind of to me, but I've never been there. So as much as it's only an hour from my house, I'd never been through that. So that was a pretty neat stop. And the back roads and the scenes on the back roads are where it's at, I think, for me anyway.
And the photos from that covered bridge are choice. It's like chef's kiss.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I loved all the checkpoints because I made them, but you know, I wanted to pick stuff that was fun. I wanted it to be a fun event, and I didn't want, like Brian said, I didn't want them out on the highways chugging along because that's no fun. That's boring.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give them fun stuff to do and see, sights to see. I think I passed Brian on Friday afternoon, and we were behind a Amish buggy that we had to go
Yep.
around. How often are you going to see that? So it's just different, neat stuff like that it just makes it fun.
And you certainly won't see that on the interstate. So when you're off the interstate, that's when you get to see cool stuff like that.
Yeah, Friday's drive, just to put it in perspective for Mike, Friday's drive, there wasn't any stretch that was more than about 7 or 8 miles, and you had a turn.
Oh,
yeah, I heard about it.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was.
Wow.
It made it kind of fun. Yeah, it was nothing. I bet 7 or 8 miles was max.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, for somebody like Pat Cook that's going to be on a motorcycle, that'd be kind of tough. But for a guy like Jay Blanchard navigating, he's got it good. He's got it. He's ready.
He didn't like it. He's like, do you think we could go a stretch more than a half a mile without turning?
Nope.
Oh man, right? Fun.
Yeah, not today. We can't. Well,
I like to tell people a lot. We could be at work.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can't be that bad,
right? I take it you guys you ran 8th mile, because I was looking at some of Brian and Jay's Fast Act Racing posts, and looked like you guys ran 5:45:09. So is there a 5:45 class? I guess probably, which would equate to about 8:50.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's Carl had it set up that way to do 8th mile. That may have. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way, but I think last year there was maybe an 8th mile track on the schedule originally. May have something to do with that, but Carl could speak on that.
Yeah, last year when we were setting it up, we could only, at that time of year, we could only find one other track besides US 131, and it was an 8th mile track. And so we were going to have to do it 8th mile. But then when I started planning this year, I'm like, you know what? Let's keep it 8th mile. We don't have to lug the cars out the back end where they kill them at 1,000 foot. And we're doing cleanups or crashes or burning up motors and stuff like that. So it not that the cars can't do it. They can do it. But I want the cars to last. I don't want downtime on the track. I want it to be fun. So if we're blowing stuff up all the time, it ain't going to be fun.
Well, and it opens up your availabilities for tracks in the future. I mean, exponentially. There's so many more 8th mile tracks out there, or even if they're 1/4 mile tracks and they're a little sketchy, you can run them 8th mile. There's nothing. I mean, just turn half the clocks off, easy peasy. So I think you're smart in doing that. That's a lot of the, a lot of the big boys have really painted themselves into corners because you have to have 1/4 mile tracks, and it's just stick with what you got, and it's working. Good job.
Well, and I think the same thing too, especially with like regional stuff, is we're not having to have those. We don't have to have the big track to get the big mile an hour to do all that kind of big crazy stuff. It's kind of goes back to us having fun and doing making the event a little easier on folks to kind of draw them folks in. Like, come on over here.
There's really no reason to bring home 75 smoking piles of junk at the end of an event. Like it's more fun to bring home a car that runs, that you can do one the next week. And if running 660 is the way to do that, then there ain't no shame in that whatsoever.
Nope.
Yep.
Right.
Well, Brian, real quick, we had 850 at the circuit. Now you run the 845 class. What do you typically look for an 850 pass? What is your 8th mile goal?
So my car to the middle normally runs a little quicker than 545, 542 or 543. So we didn't have to tweak it too much to hit the number. And we still, Jay and I always learn something every time we test or do an event. So we took some things away from Drop the Hammer that I think will help us at some future events, in six summer coming up and Drag Week later on this summer.
Nice. All right. Well, we may look at some of those time differences for this circuit next year, because I know 550 played into it a little bit on the on day 2 at Ozark for a lot of folks that were kind of chasing that number.
Yep.
Yeah, well, who broke stuff? That's the one question everybody always asks. Who tore stuff up, who fixed it, who had to bow out.
I don't think there's anything major that was fixed and guys got back up. Morris had an electrical issue where he smoked a battery. He got that up and going. We started out with 54 cars and 44 finished. So there
Nice.
was a
That's pretty good.
transmission that went south. There was blown head gaskets that they couldn't get the right stuff for to fix them.
Yeah.
So things like that. That on a 3-day,
That's
it's a
cool.
little bit harder to want to put that extra drive into getting that stuff done.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, there's nothing major catastrophes other
That's great.
than the end.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
the Tom and Clark show.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's so Brian, walk us through kind of not the class you're in because we talked about that, but how does this play into your 6 summer plans?
Well, as you probably saw our post today, we found a problem with the car right at the end of the event. We were in the quick 8, and we were the last pair down. Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never seen nothing like that.
So we were in the quick 8. Fourth pair down against Aiden Bailey, and we started the cars in the staging lanes, went up to do our burnouts, and right in front of us as we were pulling the line is when the incident happened between Tom and Clark. So they backed us up. I shut my car off, and I bet an hour and a half went by with the cleanup and the decisions on what we were going to do. So Jay and I went to jump in the car to drive it back to the pit, and it just zinged over and ground a little bit. And we were like, what is that? And, quickly realized that the flex plate was broke. And so we had to, and I drove the car to the starting track from my house, which is about 70 miles, because why not?
Yeah.
So I had to mess around, get in a trailer and get everything home on Sunday. But this would have happened to us at 6 Summer, no doubt. I mean, this was either cracked at some point earlier this year, maybe between some of those circles, but it definitely was. It didn't all crack at once.
Yeah, that was intense. I saw that and I was like, "Oh my gosh, man! How does that even happen?"
Is that a TCI wheel? Is that one of those like beveled wheels?
No, it's a SFI approved flex plate, but it's just a Jegs or Summit brand. They're like $100, but right. I'm going to be upgrading to a TCI or something much better, there's 2 or 3 brands that we're going to look at. For right now, I just put something in there to get me through next week, but long term, because this flex plate's been in the car for 3 years now, so it's not like it broke in a week or 2, but probably not what I want for the horsepower I'm at.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I saw that. I thought that was wild. And then I grabbed some other shots from the Fast Act Racing page. So what was your average for your class?
So our average after 3 days was 5,462. So 12 thousandths off of the index. We ran 545 with a 0 on Friday. And then 546 Saturday and 547 Sunday, which averaged the 5,462.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Good show.
We're happy with that. And Roger in that Blue Nova, he's kind of a teammate in a twin. That car's championed off of my car. He definitely kept the pressure on us. He finished 8 thousandths behind me.
Oh man!
With a 5,470 average.
Wow.
So
that's tense.
Yeah, awesome. He was pressuring us every day, which was, like I said, we rode together, pitted together, drove together. He's a good friend of ours. So.
Yeah. Was Jay tuning on that car?
He has, but Roger kind of did his own thing over the weekend, which was even more impressive. Yeah. No co-pilot. So yeah, wow. He definitely had a good showing for first drag and drive and no co-pilot. I was pretty impressed with his performance.
Yeah, for sure. So what were some of the other classes that were really close?
The Dial Your Own was real close. First place was 0.003. Second place was 0.008. and third place was 0.012.
That's intense.
So awesome,
So,
dude.
Wow.
you know, that's pretty impressive. They were on the hunt.
Yeah. And how did you set up your DYO class?
So I basically took, you know, that just told everybody, you know, make your pass, make a bunch of passes and figure out what you think you can duplicate for the weekend. And then we take the spread between the fastest and slowest that you turn in.
Gotcha.
And that's
Yep.
how we come up with the number.
Yep. Makes total sense. I dig that. And to think about so they had 3 days and the winner was what? 03, you said? 003?
0.003.
3,000.
So 3,000s.
Wow.
Yeah.
With a day of racing in between, not just like they laid a pass out one other day. It's like they had another day in the middle there.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. All right. Well, let's talk about some other stuff. What's the plans for next year? What do you got going on?
We're doing it again. We are going
Run it back, baby.
Yeah.
get a little bit more swag because we didn't have very much. We just had shirts and some leftover banners, windshield banners we were selling.
Yep.
But I think we want to try and get some hats, some other stickers that kind of flow with the Drop the Hammer theme. Some other little things. I've tossed around mixing up the days a little bit. Kind of maybe doing a tech on Thursday night.
Yep.
And then a close track to wherever tech is so that they have a short drive to get to Friday's racing. That way we can do 3 different tracks instead of just 2.
Yep.
I've tossed that around, just trying to mix it up a little bit.
Gotcha. So you would hang on, because I like this idea. I like where you're going with this. So you would tech somewhere, like so you would tech at the first track so they could park their rigs and stuff, and then you would drive for Friday morning and race. That's a good idea. I like that. We're definitely adding some tech on Thursday night this year. We're not doing that again. Or 25.
Right. Yeah. So
25. Yeah.
My quick thoughts were tech from 5 to 8 at the home track. You have until 11 o'clock the next morning to drive 85 miles.
Yeah.
However you wanted to get there, you're there.
Yep. That makes sense.
Race, you know, from 11 to 3-ish, and then we'll go move on to the next track for Saturday. And then 10 to 2 on that day. And then back to the base track on Sunday for the final day and the awards and all that stuff. And that way we're back where all the trucks and trailers are.
Yep.
You know, so we're you know, making the loop as normal, but we've got 3 tracks instead of 2.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I really dig that a bunch. That's
good idea.
Yeah, makes it a lot
Not
easier.
solid yet. I'm still playing with it. I want to see if the masses are up for it.
What do you mean? You just finished the 2024 event. It's been 2 days. You don't already have.
You don't have everything figured out for 2025. Come on, jeez, Carl.
Almost everything.
Right.
I'm trying.
That's pretty awesome. Well, man, congratulations again on a great event. It looks like everybody had a blast. And obviously our boys at Fast Act Racing went out and showed out like they always do. I love seeing those guys succeed and can't wait to see them next week. Brian, is this the closest that you guys have done events to each other?
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. We a little bit of maintenance. Jay's coming to get the car tomorrow. So tonight I still have some work to do on the transmission reinstall. I'm about an hour away from starting the car, and Jay's coming tomorrow to load it. We'll leave Saturday, but that's just the night that works to get it loaded up. So, and then when we get back from 6 summer, we're doing a local import versus domestic race that following weekend.
Oh my gosh.
The 21st and 22nd. So yeah, the next 3 weeks, the car will have really been put through its paces. So
that's great.
What's the combo, Brian?
LS, 5.3 LS, aluminum block, so LC9, all forged parts. It's got center counterweight crank and AFR hair, trick flow heads, single 91 millimeter turbo, and then all Holley EFI. So it makes around 1,100 to the tire to run 850s. It's got to weigh 3,200 pounds, so that's about where we end up. The car's been turned up into the high sevens, which most of these guys on here know that, like Mike and Carl. But
right.
So yeah, it's been good. This is the third season on the engine, and after this year, we'll have about 350 passes and 16,000 street miles on this motor.
Hell yeah. Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. It's coming out after this year.
Go ahead and give your engine builder a shout out on that one. Come on now.
Baker Engineering. Yeah, they build a bad engine.
Hell yeah.
We test a lot, even outside of the drag and drives. This car sees a lot of runs. So
don't be surprised if I show up with a cameraman and a microphone and shove it in your face at Six Summer.
Yeah.
Come see me. Yeah, Jay and I love to talk to you. So
heck yeah. No, it'll be cool. We bank a bunch of stuff when they've got downtime on the track to play on the live stream. So the first couple of days we're just out just gathering stuff. So I just talked to a ton of people. So I'll come find you.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Appreciate you doing this for us. This is a lot of fun having the promoter on to tell stories and having a racer's aspect of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Hell yeah! Congratulations on a great event, guys. And like I said, it looked great. All the pictures are great. Keep running it back. Hopefully, we see this in 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well.
Hell yes.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you guys.
Awesome. I dig those guys a whole bunch. Brian's one of my favorite folks, for sure. One thing I realized is I didn't do the ad read for Driven, so let me do that real quick.
You went.
Yeah, I froze. What are you talking about? I was gone, just gone. But I do want to tell the folks that are watching this for this Saturday show, my plan is to spend, that's an hour-long episode on Saturday mornings. I intend to spend about 45 minutes talking about June events only, because this is the busiest month of any drag and drive year we've ever seen. So I'm going to talk about what's coming up, all the stuff, where to expect stuff, where the races are going to be, tracks, all that kind of thing. So if you are watching this right now, please plan to be back here on Saturday morning. All right. The Driven Racing Oil. I love this team over here. They're so amazing. Why gamble with performance or protection when you get proven results from Driven Racing Oil? Trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts around the world, Driven takes legendary base oils such as the ones from Bradford, Pennsylvania, which comprise their GP1 line. Then Driven boosts that superior base with state-of-the-art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti-wear protection, but can even shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by using methanol or nitro-based fuels. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil by following them on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or you can shop online at drivenracingoil.com. And they're going to be at Six Summer.
They are, totally. And if you guys don't know, Bradford, Pennsylvania is known for their oil. They just are. It was the original Brad Penn kind of like the voodoo that they did. Driven's got that now in their stuff. And it is as good as that original Brad Penn stuff was. The current stuff has not. It's different. It's a different deal. So Driven's got it, and they're rocking and rolling with it, and they have the best. And I have it in both of my cars right now. Break-in oil on the market. So if you are awesome. If you were starting a new engine with Mahle pistons, make sure it's got Driven break-in oil.
I know that's right. I think I need to have you write the ad reads, dude. That'd be great.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, who wants to hear Adam record them? That'd be awesome. Then I can just play a video. That'd be great.
Look, I can be had, Mr. Narks, but I am not cheap.
Yeah, hey, I like it. I'll pay for quality, bud. I'll pay for quality. All right, guys. Speaking of quality, speaking of stuff, gentleman's agreement. Here's how this works. I love doing this. I love providing content, but y'all, Adam knows this firsthand. It's not cheap, and it is very time consuming. So, gentleman's agreement is I'm going to keep doing this on my side, but I need you to hit that follow button or that subscribe button wherever you're watching this. Do that for me on your side. That helps us, grow through all the stuff, algorithms, comments, all that kind of thing. We need you to do that stuff so we can continue the growth here And then we can't do all of this without our race car friends. It wouldn't be possible to have you guys here with us. I'm telling you, when I'm working at 5 a.m. or at 1 a.m. at night, it's and I jump on there and I see I've got 20 notifications and they're from folks that are saying stuff about Drag and Drive. Makes a big difference, I'm telling you. And obviously, our sponsors make travel possible, make all the things that we do possible. Summit Racing, Driven Racing Oil, Molly Motorsports, Car Change 3D, Howard's Cams, Performer Built Transmissions, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk, and Power Tube TV. And I think, let me see what my notes are. I think
Is now the time?
I think it may be right after I thank PowerTube, because I just recorded a bunch of stuff this morning, so my voice is tired. I've been at it all day long.
You're making your
stuff
mouth making money too. That's
I know
it
that's
happens. Right. It happens with the best of us.
Yep. So PowerTube has given me the opportunity to host the Southeast Gassers TV show, just super cool. So I want to say thank you to them. And if you're not following PowerTube TV everywhere, you need to do that. They also have an app you can put on your TV. And anytime I can't find something to watch on some of the other apps, I just flip on PowerTube. There's like 6 different channel types on their podcasts, and you can see it all here: culture, racing, builds, tech, how to, all the stuff they play over there. So highly recommend PowerTube TV. And now let's break in to the new sponsor. And I'm kind of sad that Eric's not on here to do this with me, but Adam, you'll have to do.
I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not to the cool level of Eric, but I'm happy to be here for it. I really am.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing about this new sponsor is it's someone that I know will be doing a Rocky Mountain Race Week some point in their near future, because he has enjoyed so much drag and drive stuff. It's completely changed his life. They've changed a lot of the things. They've bought new machines for manufacturing because of the outpouring from drag and drive. And I got to meet Chris Wozniak on Sick Week, and then him and his girlfriend came to the circuit. And then next week he would be at Sick Summer, except he's doing Hot Rod Power Tour, which is like the 9th year in a row he's done it with a bunch of his friends. So huge car guys. I'm really excited for them to be on board, because their engineering mind is it's just next level stuff. So it's like engineers that have cool shop tools, like machine and fabrication tools, and understand CAD and 3D scanners and all that kind of stuff to make really specific, unique, quirky creations.
Awesome.
Right. So they're working on something right now. I'll just let me run through a couple of pictures here. So there's Chris's Firebird, the Nashville hot chicken Firebird that Mark Edwards caught out on the street in Nashville a couple of weeks ago. This is the car he drives all the time. And then this is the carburetor stuff that they have right now. So obviously they're carburetor guys. They're part of the what we're calling the KCA club, which is Keep Carburetors Alive Club.
Okay.
So this is like a deal you put on top of the carburetor. You can put your jets in it. You can put all your tools. Then this screwdriver, I know this is crazy for you longtime carburetor guys, but it will actually, you can turn it by clicks. So you could dial in and
like the idle adjustments and all that stuff.
Yep. So they make them in-house, and it's really, really cool how they do it. I mean, you hold it. It's like 3 clicks is how you set this side, and 2 clicks is that one. So for nerds like all of us that need to collect that data, you can do that. Oh, put in 2.5 clicks over here and 2 clicks over here, and it picked up, whatever. I don't know. I don't know carburetor stuff. I usually don't even know computer stuff, but I have somebody.
I do. I started with carburetors, and this is sweet. This is a super, super cool idea.
Yep. And then how about this piece right here for your spark plugs that goes, right on top of your carburetor tool. Like,
hell yes.
This is stuff they make all the time. You can find it on WAF Racing, WAF-racing.com. And they're only expanding from here. Like this gives you an idea of what they do, right? So for our buddy Raj Rovic from the Yukon, right? The top left there is some special intake. I don't even know what kind of intake it was talking about, but they made a coil pack holder from that intake. So special, quirky, unique pieces is what they're going to specialize in.
So it says small block Mopar trick flow intake manifold. Yeah. So like if you're one of the 4 guys that has a small block Mopar with a trick flow intake manifold, you can mount a coil to it with that piece right there.
Yep. And then, sorry, Rovic doesn't have that piece, but has some other stuff that they're testing. And he's like a big part of it. Well, Rovic's also a big part of the Driven Racing Oil team too. So he's just all over the drag and drive stuff, man. I love it. And then with the 3D scanner, obviously parts that are hard to come by, they're 3D scanning factory pieces and remaking them in other materials. Super cool
Yeah,
stuff, man.
and like weirdo Mopar stuff. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's, I don't mean to be a mean guy, but if you're a Mopar guy, you're a weirdo Mopar guy. Like you get it because you've got it. A lot of that stuff is weird one-off stuff. And this is stuff that they can come up with real quick and cheap, and bang, you're in. So that's super awesome. Welcome aboard to Drag Drive Repeat. And
right. Thanks.
Yeah.
So he said, look for us at local car shows, drag strips, curvy roads in and around Middle Tennessee, because they all live in Nashville, or on Hot Rod Power Tour, which is going on next week, Drag Week, which they'll be at, Sick Week, which they were at, and obviously they're planning to come back to the circuit as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really pumped about them. We'll have a big article out here shortly about all the stuff they do and how, all of this works out. But I have a brand new overlay they were going to put here that includes their, oh no,
you broke it.
I broke it. So I didn't save it as a PNG. So soon it will be this on the bottom as we move through. I'm going to fix that while we talk to Jonathan and Greg, because they can carry on a conversation. I don't even have to look at those.
We're already doing one in the private chat behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're not going to read what that says over there because
what are you talking about?
Yeah. So I'm pretty pumped. One last thing, Chris did send me a message just before the show. He said we're carburetor centric and working on a sleek set of tools for tuning carbs. Raj, talking about Raj, Rovic, is one of the guys contributing to the ideas and is an avid tester of these things. Hopefully I'll have the set done and tested during Power Tour and ready to share on the show in a couple weeks. So he's going to be on. That's the plan. We were going to have him on tonight, but y'all, he's thrashing to get his car ready and 2 other cars ready and his pool ready for when Hot Rod Power Tour comes to Nashville so they can have a big pool party at his house. So we forgive you, Chris. We look forward to you being on here in a couple weeks and talking about all that stuff. Okay, let's go to the next spot here. WAF Racing, obviously. Howard's Cam community segment. You guys know, love our boy Luke B over at Howard's Cams, and this has been one of my favorite segments. And we've grown it. It started as what was just community updates, but now we talk about a few cars in the beginning, and then we bring on a guest. So let's hit this intro video for this part, and then we're going to bring in Jonathan and Greg after I talk about 2 bits of cars that are in the community.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
All right, Luke
Bam. Also, a note. I guess I build my car with your sponsors, which is awesome. I have Howard's lifters in the Cadillac motor.
That's what I'm talking about. Love it. I love it. Well, whenever you're ready for another set, let's talk to Luke B and the team.
My engine guy in Denver, it's all he uses. Yeah. So he was like, "You get Howard's lifters, or I'm not putting any in there."
That's great. That's
okay,
great.
Got
That's
it.
What we love
Check.
to hear. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, let's talk about some cars because I can't wait to talk to Greg and Jonathan. So here's the deal. Ryan Hargett, you guys know him. We love the new Camaro Coyote swap. The Coyote swapped Camaro. He's building 70 Camaro Pro Stock car. This is going to be crazy fast when he gets it done. But yes. I wanted to show the work that they've been doing. He's been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks and it comes out swinging with these photos here. They've got some carbon for the firewall done. And then you can see in this shot here, he gives Spencer Brown a big shout out on the work with the headers. Dude, those look so nice.
It's like art, dude. It's like art. I mean, this is the the ability for fabricators right now in this market is above and beyond. It's out of this world, and the stuff that they're creating is amazing. I mean, look at them. Look at those headers.
Yeah.
I've never owned anything like that. That's wild. Good stuff.
It's gorgeous, and I love this build simply because it's weird and unique. Obviously, having a Coyote in a Camaro is, I'm typically backwards, but this car is going to be really fast. Like, his goal is low sixes, high fives. So
Hell yes.
this next level of drag and drive car being built is absolutely wild. Absolutely
It is.
wild.
And it's pro stock cars, so it's not even pro mod cars, it's pro stock cars.
Yep.
And now they're putting them on the street, and that's a whole different thing even from a pro mod car. So it's really, really exciting. I mean, really, Uncle Sam, Nicky Bobby's car, that's an old pro stock, chassis type car. He's going to be on Six Summer, and he was just at that shootout.
I can't wait.
Yes, I cannot wait to see Uncle Sam back out. Congratulations on his engagement to Alex Taylor as well. So,
right.
Good stuff, and we're going to see them back. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to change her name.
Yeah,
so
I would though. How funny that you're going in with like your marriage license. You're like, yes, I would like to change this, please.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
but no, cool. It's super cool. It's a good change, I think, in the market for guys bringing out some really fire breathing stuff. And why not do it different and put a Coyote in a GM? Like, giddy up, let's go weird.
Right. Well, and plus, we talked about this next level of cars. I mean, talk about this right here, CJ Race Cars building a new 69 Camaro for Cletus, small tire car that's going to go really fast. This is crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Well, and if you watch that stuff, man, he is building that car fast. And I don't know if that's just because checks are changing hands super quickly or whatever. But either way, that car is amazing, and I'm excited to see what engine they're planning on putting in there. They've kind of kept the big block in as like a teaser, but I've been, he told you straight up that it is not going to be a big block Chevrolet. So
that's awesome.
Who knows if it's if he's going to go Hemi or what. But I'm excited to see that, and that is going to be a very, very cool car for him to start campaigning. And who knows what's going to happen to Mullet as well. And Ruby in that same sentence. Leroy's pretty much not a drag and drive car anymore. No cooling system. He's pretty much made that into a stick shift race car, which is great. But Mullet still has headlights and junk in it. So we'll see if that becomes kind of his, slow drag and drive car. He's still got Ruby, and then Zach and Ty kind of have their stuff going as well out there as well. They had Ty had his Ranger out at 6 week, and they're kind of doing their thing. So it'll be interesting to see what that whole crew brings to drag and drive in the next year. I think it's going to be a very big shakeup in the drag and drive kind of world.
I'm ready for it. The reason I brought this up too is because I wanted people to understand. This guy talks about it being 1,600 hours of labor to build a car, not like this that's on the screen. I don't know why I grabbed this screenshot, but the car he's building is neither one of those cars that are on the screen. Right. But 1,600 hours of labor, says that it could be $225,000 to build a rolling chassis, and that doesn't include wiring or paint or the engine.
Right. No engine, no trans. It probably has a rear end so it can roll around, but probably not a third member, probably not wiring, probably no EFI. This is serious stuff, and especially at this level for sure. And I'm excited that he's getting into a 69 Camaro. I really thought he was going to buy Tom Bailey's car, the SICK 1.0 car, because that sort of is the car that catapulted him into where he is. And he actually ended up getting a license in that car for Advanced ET. So I was sure that he was going to buy that car, and he's not. He's building his own 69 Camaro, which is great. Good for him.
Bring it on.
And that 1.0 car is an older build. It's kind of a heavy car for that sort of world. It's not it's just not. It's a chassis car, but the 2.0 car is a pro mod, and his new pro mod. So
yeah, it's going to be freaking cool, man. Freaking cool. I'm ready. All right. And then last up here, Jesse Fox, Mr. 3G Video, just text me. That's what I was checking. He said he's bringing Benny to Six Summer.
Nice. Hell yes.
I can't wait to see this car in person. He teases. I thought he could have it done by the circuit. Couldn't get it there. They just couldn't get the car running right. Got it running. Been driving it around some as far as this video show. I'm ready to see this thing, man.
Absolutely. And I mean, talk about a good dude. Like Jesse Fox is an awesome, awesome dude. And he's one of those guys that shows up to these things, snaps photos, does this whole mess, mostly out of his pocket. And it's a cool deal to have him around and spreading the joy, spreading the love.
Right. Well, it's exciting to see him out and about again. I mean, dude, he's probably missing Benny. He's been having to sleep in hotels and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't even know what to do with himself. All right,
he's not sure what to do with his hands. He's just
right. Let's talk about this car right here real quick, and then we're going to bring in Jonathan Stonecipher and Greg Jones to talk about how much fun this next adventure of theirs is going to be.
This car is an unassuming car. You would never know that this car has trophies on trophies on trophies on trophies. But yeah, Greg knocks it out of the park with this car, and he beats it mercilessly. And he's one of the dudes that he's not looking for anything kind of special or anything along the way, but he's a paraplegic. He's a handicapped dude. The thing has hand controls in it.
Yeah.
And he drives it down the road. He races it. He makes passes. He does the whole thing, but he does it all with hand controls, and that's a whole different level of respect because I can't drag race with the use of my legs. This dude does it like really well, and like I said, wins like crazy. We were talking a little bit before this, and I said he's got at least 2 wins, but you'll tell us how many he has because you are that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna have to tell us because my I did not have all my stuff pulled up for my Rocky Mountain stuff, and of course now I got to go back and do the other design stuff so we can put the WAF Racing on the bottom here.
Yeah,
all righty, Mr. Greg Jones, come on in here. Let me get the picture of your car off the screen, and let's talk about how awesome you two are as a combo, and how many events you guys have done together, and then introduce yourself.
Together as him as a co-pilot, we've done 2?
3.
3.
Yeah. This will be number 4.
In
That's
total,
awesome.
I think I've done 9 Dragon Drives total.
And how many have you won?
1, 2, 1 second, and 1 third.
Nice. Yeah, dude. That's so impressive. I mean, so impressive. And it's an index car. Typically 12.0, right?
Yes, usually.
Yep. Well, and that's one of the things that Jonathan and I talk about all the time is this car's won 12.0 and 13.0, I think, right?
No, I got a second, 13.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think both of his wins were 12s. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
But it is so awesome. And it is, and like I said, like it's not, it's a different thing. You do it all with your hands. I haven't had you on my deal, and this isn't my show, and I'm sorry, Mike, but tell us about drag racing a car with hand controls. How crazy is that to have that much? I mean, it's a 12.0 car. It's got to run faster than that because it runs the 12.0 index. But an 11-second street car is a badass street car, and add to that, you're doing it all with your hands. Talk to us about it real quick.
You stay pretty busy in there behind the wheel. Gassing, braking, shifting, steering. That's a lot of stuff to do with your hands.
Hell yeah. And you do manually shift the car?
Not this car, no.
Okay, got it. So it just like sticks in drive and does its thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were just talking about this. We went to Tulsa to test Friday night, and Greg had a yellow first gen Camaro back several years ago, and it ran the same all out as this car actually might be a little faster all out than that car, but it was always trailered. And I told him, I said, it's amazing how in 10 years, we went from what cars were to now we got a car that's capable of running mid 11s and quicker, and you just drive it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I like to say it's like cheating, because like 20 years ago, that car would have a raunchy cam and would barely idle, and you could barely drive the freaking thing. And now it's just hop in, hit the key, and you can get 20 miles a gallon driving down the road and still go mid-11s.
Yeah.
Brandon Parker is asking who did the hand controls in the car.
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did all of it.
That's awesome.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
And
that's really cool.
I don't care. I'll take back everything that Stonecipher told me about you. You're all right.
Greg actually, he had to show me how to use the hand controls in case we ever had an emergency or anything. And then I've loaded the car on the trailer with the hand controls. It gives you a whole new respect for what he does to drive.
Seriously, I mean that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be so much involved in there. And I mean I'm a stick shift guy, so I got stuff flying around like crazy. But again, I got the use of my legs, so whole different level of respect for Greg. And I actually didn't know that that Greg didn't have the use of his legs until he won his first 12-0, I think. And I called him to come to the stage, and I was like, where the hell is he? And he's in his chair. He's rolling up. He's short in his chair. So I was like, Greg. And he came rolling up, and I was like, oh, whole new respect on this guy's name. So good on you, dude. I just think that's so freaking cool. And yeah, I mean, there's just so much involved, and you know, I mean, really just even overcoming all of that to still drive hot rods and have fun doing it. I dig it. I love that you're doing it.
He's got the same drive and motivation as we do. He just got a couple extra steps.
Right. Yeah. If you know what I'm saying.
It's one thing that I love about his car is it's so clean. Like it's one of the nicest cars in the parking lot, and he's not scared to beat on it. But one conversation we've had in the past is that there was one week where he won, I think either first or second in the 12-0 or 13-0 class, and the dude did it in like 12 passes throughout the entire week. And then there was this last event where he made 12 runs at Vandermeer one night.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just wanted to win.
Well, and that's it. If you guys haven't seen any of the Rocky Mountain Race Weeks, especially, they're kind of the OGs in the index racing world. And man, I mean, the top 10 spots typically in 11-0, 12-0, 13-0, 14-0 are less than a tenth between 10 people. And first and second place are typically like a thousandth or two away from each other. Somebody in the top 3 or 4 hits the number on the button at least once through the week. It's absolutely insane. And yeah, these guys round robin their cars like crazy. And that doesn't surprise me that you made 12 passes at Vandermeer.
I think I had to run a 002 just to keep my spot at Vandermeer.
Yep.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
I think I was the last car that went through that night. But I did it.
Attaboy. And that's the same, like we were just talking to the boys with Drop the Hammer. That's 003 is 3 thousandths from exactly where he needs to be. And that's just to keep his spot where he's at. Yep. Like that's pretty amazing stuff. And to be able to pull that off, even in 13 passes with a car that you know real well, that's impressive stuff.
And that night I had planned to leave. I was going to go edit a video, but Greg just kept coming back around. So I think I probably have like 6 or 8 of those passes on camera because I wanted to get that one that he needed, you know, because we had done the math earlier in the day and it was like, man, it was going to be really, really tough. And he was how many times did you go under that night? I think like 3 times you went under.
Yeah, 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, it was something like that. And then, of course, you know, if it's like a 12-10, you might as well throw that thing in the trash. Like, it's not going to matter. So this is for the folks that are going to be new to drag and drive and index racing and stuff. How do you slow the car down or speed it up in that kind of incremental time? Like, is it, hey, the transmission's still hot, I'm going to go down and make a pass because that's going to cost me 500ths or something like that?
I usually, most of it's done with a mechanical throttle stop that I made on my hand controls. and I fine tune it with timing.
Wow. That's
When
wild.
when I did it, and I won the 13.0 class in the first Rocky Mountain Race Week, and I think I had a 13.03 in that one, and it wasn't as close as it is now, and we had way less guys. I think second place was 13.10 or something like that.
Wow.
But I used weight a lot. I would not unpack the trunk in the car. Use a lot of that, short shift a lot, and there's a lot in staging. If you deep stage, it takes some
Yes.
time off of the car, and it's there's a lot of stuff you can do. And at some tracks, I mean, I was in 13.0 class and my car went 1140, so I was a little bit sandbaggy, but
Which is probably hard to do that much off.
It's to take like a second and a half out. I was trying to find places on the track to let off and just coast.
That was the biggest surprise for me and Greg, because we both started the first year in 18. We both showed up. He had a black Super Sport Camaro, and then I had the SR71 Trans Am that year, and it was surprising how tight. Like my first day, I went out in my second pass, I went a 13.07. I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be all right, and I checked it in, and then I'm in like 12th place. And I'm like, oh shit.
Well, 07 wasn't worth nothing, apparently.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Brian Lump says in the 17, he got third with a 13.09.
Yeah, I went like in that same year, I went a 01 and a 01 the last 2 days, but my average was still 13.04, and I was in 10th place.
Yeah.
So,
it's freaking wild, dude. It's freaking wild. And it comes down to that last day, and like the second place guy needs 0.000 to even get ahead of the first place guy. But if the first place guy goes 0.1, he's there. Like he beats you. And it gets that way throughout the week, and it's so much fun because those races are typically tighter than all of the heads up races. And I mean, they're racing for the same $1,000 that everybody else is, so it's a very cool deal.
Ed, that's what you're saying there. I know exactly what you mean, because the car that I ran 13.0 with, it was a bottom 12-second car at some of the tracks, and probably could have been a 12.0, but it wouldn't do it at some of the elevations, so I was screwed. So
And for the folks listening on the podcast, NHRA stock, Ed Hohenberg says, sandbagging my Cobra 2 seconds was so hard.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Slowing stuff down that much is a pretty tough prospect, honestly.
Josh had already been Josh Rom, the winner last year at 2.0, had already messaged us and give us a hard time. So we figured out a 14.0 tune, just so I know he can't probably go that slow.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, talk to us about how. So we talk about a lot of passes. That usually is how you get there. Oh, I'm going to take the tire out. I'm going to add the tire back, whatever. But how do you do it 4 different tracks in 10 passes? How does that week work?
Mostly because I had a lot of runs the year before at those same tracks. I take pretty good notes.
There you go. I guess that could make sense.
Got a lot of data.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. When you told me that, I think it was like 10 or 12 passes you had made in a week. And I was like, how does that even make sense? And then, then this next time you make a whole bunch of passes. So let's talk about DYO and your approach to how you're going to take on Six Summer and that class. Are you going to be working for an OO index type deal? Or are you going to see what you run the first day, and how do you adjust from there?
We'll probably start with how many runs I get on the first day. So I don't have no idea. These are all tracks I've never been to. I have no idea what it's gonna do. So
you better hope not.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
The good thing is, even no matter what the number is, the car repeats good. So that's a good thing about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's the same question I've got with Mike. Like, are you just going to run it and hope to repeat it, or are you going to try to sandbag a little bit so you got something in the bank?
Oh yeah, I'll sandbag a little bit because you never know. You might need it.
You might need a little something extra.
Yeah.
Kind of what we
Hell
had
yeah.
talked about actually to try to run a 12-0. And then that way we're still working at, I don't know what kind of elevations or DA or anything we're going to be working with, but if we got notes that are close, we were wanting to try to run 12-0. That way we're working because he's going to turn right around and do Rocky Mountain Race Week also.
Oh, are
Attaboy.
you serious? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Take a week
Nice.
later.
Are you window licking for him on that one too, John?
No, I'm taking my other black car on that.
The gas chamber?
No, I'm actually taking my Corvette.
Okay.
The gas
All right.
chamber, the gas chamber's tired. I did Michael's race back in April, and it's very tired. The motor's showing its age. So
That's okay, because so are you. But
So he bought some New Balances. He's ready. Jorts.
Good.
He's ready to go.
yeah.
who's riding with you on Rocky Mountain, Greg?
As far as I know, I'll be by myself this time.
Wow. Well, I'm glad he was by himself on race week because Greg actually let me jump in from the ride from Demir to Pueblo. It was awesome. Listen, when I tell you the car is nice, it's amazing. Rides great, drives great, and we could have conversations in there. It was awesome.
I was gonna say it's a little different than riding in mine, is it not, Mike?
Oh, dude, way different. Like Jonathan's just you become one with the vibration of the car, your entire body just the whole time.
Right.
Greg's doesn't do that. Greg's has nice seats. It's comfortable. It's quiet.
That's why I enjoy being his co-pilot because it's actually nice. It's like vacation week.
Hell yeah. Tell us.
He's,
I actually, again, I'm going to take over your show, Mike. Enjoy.
Dude, bring it. That's
Tell
why
us
you're
about
here,
the
man.
Nova, dude. I don't know. I know nothing about the combo in the Nova. I just know that I see it making tons and tons and tons and tons of passes. But what's what powers the thing? How quick has it been? What kind of rear end? What kind of suspension, etc.
It's a 7-liter LS engine,
Nice.
4L80 transmission, a Ford 9-inch.
Nice.
And,
Is it a like a crate 7-liter, or is it something that someone built?
No, it's I built it, pieced it together, found a blown up short block and from this guy and heads from this guy and just pieced it all together.
Hell yeah.
It made 617 at the wheels at tuned by JP's.
That's awesome.
yeah.
No power adder. This is a NA car too, so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, 7 liters of 427. That thing. I mean,
Yeah.
It cooks good. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's one of the things being up in the tower. Like I get to watch these cars do their thing, and I get to watch every quarter-mile pass. But I don't have a lot of other insight about this stuff. As we go, like I don't have a chance to cruise through the pits typically, and like, hey, what's this thing? So that's like my podcast. That's what I've been doing is trying to learn more about these cars so I can talk about them better. So now I can talk a little more about you, other than winning like crazy and having Sasquatch next to you.
How many miles have you put on that car?
Just guessing, I'd say probably 15,000 in just the last few years, 4 or
That is
5
so
years.
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
I
drive it a
freaking
lot.
love that.
It's been to Gulfport, Mississippi, and Bandimere in Denver, Colorado. It's been a lot of different places.
Yeah. So will Byron and Tri-State and all those tracks be new to you? Have you ever been to those tracks with the car, I guess?
Yeah, I've never been to them. It'll all be new.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
Me
awesome.
too. All brand new tracks for me. I'm so excited for that. That's in my opinion, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. That's one of the best things about Drag and Drive is you get to see all these cool new tracks. And on top of that, you get to race on them. So, I mean, who's cooler than you that day? No one.
That's right. And I can't wait for you guys to get to Great Lakes. It's really an interesting format. You do a burnout up a little small hill, and then the stands last time were packed on a Tuesday. I mean, like standing room only. So I would imagine we're going to do that again. So it's pretty cool. Great Lakes is really a neat track, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Byron obviously is Eric's home track, so he's going to be there on Monday. So he'll be bothering you guys on Monday, and then I'm going to drive up as far as I can Wednesday night, and then I'll catch you guys racing on Thursday morning and do Thursday and Friday. So
Hell yeah.
and then I'm going to see you again on Rocky Mountain 1.0. So Bring
How
it on.
cool is that, dude? Back to
Yeah.
back dragon drives.
Yeah.
That's some like heroic type stuff right there, dude. Good for
Yeah.
you.
We'll see if the car lives. See if I live
I'm-
through it.
I'm doing that, but I'm flying to the start of Six Summer, and I've got the week off just to kick my feet up and lick my wounds from that before we head out for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So yeah, you're definitely doing more thrashing and junk than I am. I'll just be drunk pretty much for Six Summer. You'll be working.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I do on top of is you drive on your race tires. So tell us what tire you use and why you like it so much.
I have a Mickey Thompson drag radial on it right now. I had been running the M&H's, but at Bandamere, was it 2 years ago? There was some cords showing. So we had to get what we could get, and we put the Mickey Thompsons on there, and they work great. I like them.
That's awesome.
And they're 17s, right, on the back?
Yep, 17s all the way around, yeah.
And
17s all the way around, yeah. And it looks legit as hell.
Yeah. It looks great. Is the fender widened? Do you have has it been massaged or anything?
The back.
On the back. No, it's mini tubbed in rear.
Yeah, because
but it's not stretched for a taller.
No.
Nice.
And what size rears and why did you go 17s all the way around?
The rears, I think there's
305.
305 17s on the rear, and I don't remember what's on the front, but I just had the wheels. I bought the wheels at a swap meet. That's why I've got 17s on it.
Oh,
and
yes.
And the tires that are on it is because that's what they had at the track when we were there. Because whatever size they had that day in 17s, that's what it was going to have.
Yeah.
Me and Greg actually mounted them by hand at Bandamere because they didn't have a tire machine. It was horrible. Like,
did they have tire spoons at least?
They did have tire spoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
But still, doing a 17 and it doesn't have a ton of sidewall on it.
Exactly.
And they
No
didn't have the
thanks.
balance, so my passes that day were a little shaky.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Ease down to the closest tire shop. Like, dude, can you do something, please?
His co-pilot's a little shaky too, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. He's been riding in the other Nova. He's used to it by now.
Yeah.
And for all those miles, is that a typical thing? Have you always keep your race tires on?
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
have
How long do they
some,
typically last?
About three dragon drives, 3 week long dragon drives.
That's not bad. That's not
I mean,
bad
that's
at
like
all.
5,000 miles. By the time you do
including some race time and stuff. Yeah, that ain't bad.
Quite a bit of testing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Talk about doing it kind of on the cheap. You don't need another set of wheels. You don't need another set of tires. You just, whatever money you spend is the money you spend. It's no big deal. And 3 dragon drives, that could be 3 years for most people.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to say he's actually got a set of lightweight race wheels, but the car picks up too much.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, add weight. Don't take power away.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you've been on a bunch of them. What are some of the favorite routes that you've been on? Like, what are some of the drives that you've enjoyed? I know the drive that you took with me is probably your top 3. Me being in the passion just was cool, but what are some of the others?
I like the drives through the Rocky Mountains. They were great.
Yeah.
The scenery stuff I'd never seen before. Well, actually, about anything I've never seen before, I like.
Yeah.
It's not the same old Northwest Arkansas roads that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah. The drive to Tulsa you could probably do in your sleep.
Yeah.
One of the things I ask on my my podcast, and I'm just going to again take over Drive Repeat here tonight, but what's your favorite racetrack?
Ooh.
Bandamere was really cool.
I was going to say either current or not. Whatever, but
yeah. I really.
What about
like
you,
Bandamere.
Stonecipher?
Really cool track.
Mocan is home for me. It's where I made my first pass, and I've actually made more passes there than I have any other track in the country. But as far as my favorite, Bandamere was by far my favorite track.
Yeah.
And excluding Bandamere, probably Probably Noble.
Mm.
So,
I dig it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to answer that too. I'm going to say in my top three is probably Bandamere and then Bristol, Thunder Valley and Bristol. That was
Totally.
pretty neat.
There.
I thought you might have to say Tulsa.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not-
he's
I'm not
contractually obligated.
I love Tulsa. Tulsa number one. I mean, let's just be honest. Tulsa Raceway Park, Osage Casino and Hotel, Tulsa Raceway Park, number one on your list.
That's right. That's
Number
right.
one on your
That's
arm.
that's the place I've made my second most passes, and that may be where you've made. Have you made
I've probably made the most passes at Tulsa.
So
yeah,
made a bunch.
And he means out of anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Ever. Period. Like anyone that's
Yeah.
ever made a pass down that drag strip, he's got more.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the
He's got
same
the
way as you. Bandamere was my home track, so Bandamere, I mean, gets obviously some mention there because why not? But man, so many other cool tracks. I really like Bradenton in Florida.
Yeah.
That track it's cool outlaw feel, but that track is gangster, and they have a really, really good concession stand.
Greg had actually tried to get us into Sick Week, and we didn't get in. Is the only reason why we haven't been to Bradenton yet. So
as soon as you get in, get your asses down there. That track, all those tracks, honestly, those are all kind of big boy tracks especially for a drag and drive. That's kind of a rare thing. Like typically you get one, outlier that you're like, hey, yeah, we might have a throwaway track. Every one of those tracks lays it down. It's gangster.
Yeah.
The only thing we're afraid of is if we went down there and did some racing and we look at the weather and it's 5 degrees here, we may not want to come back.
Yeah. That was 100% me.
100%.
I flew home into a blizzard. It was, I mean, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in April.
Yeah.
I had a freaking sunburn while I was flying home into a blizzard.
Yeah. So that first year, it snowed here for Sick Week 2022, and luckily Aaron Sladen and our boy Tyler Basham were driving through the area and picked me up, or I wouldn't have been down there. And so we left because it was snowing so bad that the flight was canceled. So thank goodness to them, they kicked off all of this that you're watching right now. But it was not hard to leave this place.
Hell yes.
Well, what are obviously Byron's going to be a fun track for you for Sick Summer. Are there any that you've scouted, or is there anything that you're nervous about on the trip there? Are you towing the car there? Do you drive it there? Give us some feedback.
We'll tow it there. Little nervous because I've never been to any of the tracks.
Yeah,
it's all new, no data. We'll just have to see what we can do.
I told him the only thing I was nervous about is if we get routed through Chicago.
Yeah, that's just not going to be good.
Get out with the car.
They have the routes out, actually. That's one of the things that Sick does. Let me pull it up here real quick. I can't share my screen because I'm not a co-host.
Yep. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. Can I get that from on the Sick the Magazine website there?
Yeah, Sick the Magazine, and it'll be events and Sick Summer 2024.
Here we are.
Routes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, totally. So Byron to Cordova. Yeah, I don't think there's any spot on here where we're going through Chicago. So you can, bring your gun because that's what you do.
Oh, yeah. We always do
it's
that.
going to be there.
Yeah. But I don't. You hopefully doesn't look like you'll be using it.
Nope. It doesn't look like any of the stuff we're going to go through is going to be Chicago. Looks like we're all staying above Chicago, even any kind of suburb or anything like that. So
yeah, kind of nowhere near there. So yeah, no, it should be good. Kind of near-ish Milwaukee is as close as it looks like we're going to get for anywhere that might be a little bit wacky, but I think we're fine. It should be great.
Good.
Yeah, and there's going to be.
What was the name of that brewery that Laverne and Shirley worked at? We might have to stop there. I think that was in Milwaukee.
Hold on, we gotta look that up. That's
Schultz.
That's a great point.
Schlitz.
Milwaukee. It wasn't Schlitz though, was it?
Adam's already planning on going with us.
Yeah,
I'm getting us reservations actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding it here. There's a brewery tour for
The
Laverne and
lake-
Shirley tribute.
the Lakefront Brewery Tour in
That's
Milwaukee.
the one.
Yeah, let's go. Can't wait. Yeah, Lakefront Brewery. Despite the name, the brewery is on the Milwaukee River, not Lake Michigan. Okay. Yeah,
It
whatever.
was filmed at the old Schlitz Brewery,
Yeah.
but doesn't give what the name is. Schatz Brewery smock used in Laverne and Shirley. Schatz
There you go.
Brewery.
I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
the Lakefront is a tribute, a brewery tour for Laverne and Shirley tribute. So it's not the real thing.
yeah.
Cool. I'm
So
in.
they're
When
not
do y'all
gonna be there?
can
Yeah.
we do that on
Brian's
Thursday?
got
They
the
may
deal.
be. I don't know. I hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. And again, I'm going to drive up Wednesday night, and then Eric's going to meet us back there on Friday morning. So, or at Byron on Friday morning. So, anybody know? Is there a Motion Raceworks party this year? I know they're doing the Rock Falls, Illinois party.
I know that they are a stop, and I imagine it'll end up being a party.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, if we're going to stop there, it's going to end up being a party. It was
Yeah,
a blast
exactly.
last year. It was a great time. Got to hang out.
I've
with
never
Howard
been.
and
I've never
them.
been. I'm so excited to see Motion Raceworks as well.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's a lot of racers that I think we're going to see a lot of Rocky Mountain racers kind of venture up there to Six Summer as well. And I'm pumped to see you guys are going to have to be back on after doing both events back to back and tell us, is that hard? 'Cause
It's easy, Mike.
intense.
It
Yeah,
everyone
it's
should
easy.
do it. Yeah,
It's cool
everyone
to
should.
spend
It's no problem at all.
3,000 miles in the same car. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. It's no big deal.
Probably 2,000 miles. So, Yeah.
Both of you guys and Greg are self-employed, so maybe I just need to do that.
Well, let's hold off on the employed. Like I'm self, but I'm not like getting paid or nothing for any of this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a business that writes me checks, but I don't know how much money's in that account ever.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'm
just
making
hope
it,
it
but I mean,
clears.
I'm still eating ramen noodles. So
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
We'll just call it self.
That's nothing new, so that ain't really anything to get over.
No, hell no.
Well, I mean, you got to do that. Race car parts are important.
Yes, they are,
right.
and they're not cheap.
That's right.
And then Ed Hohenberg says, or just drink vast quantities of parking lot beers. Yeah, and it's better if they belong to other people.
You want to know why? They're free.
Hey,
They're a whole lot freer.
yes. Yeah, I'm a fan. All right, well, guys, what haven't we talked about that we need to?
On Adam's trailer, no trailer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's actually a discussion we've had.
So, trailer or no trailer?
Trailer, no
Oh,
trailer.
we don't pull a trailer.
No shit. I'm kidding. You unload that crap every day?
Yes.
If he has to, sometimes he doesn't even unload it. He goes out and makes a rip and sees if he needs to or not.
Right, exactly. You may not need to take the crap out of the trunk. Man, even solo? Mad respect, dude. That's gangster.
And I was trying to think, how many of you done solo?
All of them except 3 you were with me on.
Okay. So
So
six
you've
I've
done 9 and only 3 with a co-pilot.
Yes.
I don't care what anyone says. You're maybe the most gangster dude in drag and drive that exists. That
Pretty awesome.
is impressive. Holy cow.
To just be in your head by yourself that long, I would have a problem with that. That's why I need a co-pilot. I
Right?
need somebody to bounce these ideas off of. Is this dumb? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah. You're an
Oh
idiot.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Should I give this card away? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we're going to figure out a time this year for that. We're going to be giving the Narcs card away sometime this year. Jonathan Stonecipher is helping me get it back together at some point. So
Does he know that yet? Or does he
No.
just find out?
Yeah,
no,
he's the one. He's like cracking the whip. He's like, dude, get to work on it. Dude, change.
I text him about every 3 days. Have you found a tranny yet? Have you found a tranny yet? Have you found a tranny yet? Wrong kind of tranny. Have you found a tranny yet?
I was going to say, he keeps responding with yes, but no transmission.
Yeah.
And I actually called him today and said, when are we working on your truck? He said, we had to finish the cart first. And I said, why?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the truck, I'm putting it. I've got to finish the cart to get it out of here and get it gone. I am hoping my plan would be to give it away by 2.0, so somebody could then take it on 2.0. So it's got to get fixed soon because 2.0 is in
Great.
3 months.
Great
So
plan.
and then the old truck, and I'm trying not to snowball the parts list. It's like, oh well, I need to redo the log manifold. Oh, well, they've got this one that's cheap. I can just buy it. Oh, if I'm going to buy it, man, that would save me some time. Well, what if I do this? I'm trying not to do that. Try to just get it back on the road
I,
running.
I just need a copy of your parts list. That way I know how fast I got to build whatever I build to outrun it.
Well, anything you've ever built's outrun it. There's not even been anything close. It was awesome. The one time I watched Jonathan tree me and then leave by about 300 feet, and it was a great view the whole time. So I need some redemption back on that
You
run
do.
there for yeah.
Yeah.
So it needs a break, trans brake, and
what
big burdens. Go ahead.
what other are you guys for either of you cats? Are you guys planning on doing any other drag and drives for this year besides the two we've been talking about?
Possibly 2.0, Race Week 2.0. I'm not registered at the moment, but I'm on wait list, so we'll see how that goes.
See how that goes.
And we had actually tried to get into 666, and I was going to go as Greg's co-pilot, but we didn't get in. I think I'm going to go. Me and my wife, I think we're going to go as sick ward and do the whole thing.
Oh,
So,
nice!
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
So, yep.
That'll be a super good one. And if you guys haven't paid attention, like Sick the Mag again, they're kind of doing their one-off events. They did Death Week last year. They're doing 666 this year. It's basically all of the Route 66, which is so cool. And I did Power Tour in 1999. I actually made a post about it because I just wrote an article for Sick the Mag about it. But we did a bunch of the Route 66 on that Power Tour, and I was a 19-year-old kid with a turbo Toyota truck. It was super fun.
Nice.
That's why we wanted to do it, because it's I don't know if that event will ever happen again.
Right.
Because I know that they're doing some single events like Death Week and then that. And I just felt like that would be some great tracks. It's long Route 66. I like another thing about that, it's one way, which is
exactly
different. So
yep, you don't have to turn go all the way out that way and then turn back around and go back to all your junk. You'll already be halfway home.
So
I think 666 is going to be a blast. I'm doing it till Albuquerque, I think so, or Amarillo, one of the two. So pumped about that.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and it's also coming through Tulsa Raceway Park, Osage Casino and Hotel.
Osage Casino, Tulsa Raceway Park.
Yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 3101 North Garnett Road.
That's right. That's right. Mike Marks, social media manager.
Yeah, Friday fun drags. So, if you guys want to get out there and about,
you're finally getting the hang of that. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, hey, sometimes you got to say it 74 times a day.
Me and Greg had laughed. We thought about at one of the years he won, getting up to the front there and be like, yeah, we're glad to have this Jones Performance engine built, Jones chassis built, LS7 powered machine finishing in the top today. We had a really rough week, and then like I'm going to change hats on him while it's
yes, that'd be great. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I usually have another hat sitting right over here. I could have just
yeah.
That's great.
Hell yes.
How fun. All right.
What about you, Narks? Where are we going to see you? I'm sure you've told all your viewers, but I want to know, where are we going to see you this year?
Yeah, all over the place. So my deal with the Midwest Drag Race Series is beginning to take off. 7 events I'm signed up for with them.
Yes, baby.
Yeah, sadly, it has taken me away from 3 drag and drive events that I got to leave early at. But hey, that's the way it goes. I'll be watching drag and drive all week and then go watch full mods, and Funny Car. So next up is obviously Six Summer. Last couple of days of Six Summer, I'm doing the first couple of days of Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0. I'll do to Oklahoma City and then drive 530 miles directly from Oklahoma City to St. Louis for a Midwest Drag Race Series event. That'll be kind of fun. See, that gets me through June. July, there's an event. I don't remember July. I'm somewhere in July, but the next big round of stuff is in September, and I'll do 3 days of drag week, and then I'll fly to Kansas City and do the biggest pro mod race in history. So at Flying H Drag Strip. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that's happened. That's
It'll be
happened in the
kinda
last couple of days of
What's the date? What
race
is the
week.
date on that, Michael?
yeah, it's September 19th through 21st.
Yep.
Can
Last
can
few
we
days
enter-
of race week, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because
we
we were
enter-
talking about trying to get me over there for some announcing on that gig as
Yep.
well, and I'm already pre-committed to that, which
I can
sucks. But I mean, if you're gonna miss a Dragon Drive, going to the richest pro mod purse in the, I think it's of the year.
In history.
It's gonna
almost
be
$300,000. Yeah,
it's gonna be insane.
pretty intense.
It's going
And
to
I
be insane.
remember the July event is I'm announcing at Heads Up Hustle.
Oh,
So,
nice.
It's going to be my first time to announce at that level for that long. So I'm going to be talking to Adam a few times for some pointers.
Ricola.
We were talking about Heads Up Hustle just a little bit ago. I told him if we weren't already scheduled so heavy that I would like to go to John's race, just because it's just we've got both of us have too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with what you were talking about last night, Adam, with Gary, it's hard to believe. Like used to, it took everything we had to do one event a year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, I even cut testing short because I had to have the money to do the event, and then now it's like, here we are doing 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, trying to do 3 or 4. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you read my article on what it costs to do a Dragon Drive, that stuff's pretty close, and that might even be on the low end. I mean, it's a couple $1,000 a week minimum. I mean, that's bare bones. You didn't break nothing. Yeah, and on top of that,
tell your wives
if you're self-employed, you're not making any effing money that week.
Yeah,
either.
but it's a write-off. It's a write-off.
Well, I mean, right? It's advertising, right?
Yeah.
But you're still not making money. Like you can write it off in April. That's great.
Yeah.
But right now, my bills don't care that I'm writing crap off in April.
That's what I always tell anybody. It's like, oh, it's a write-off to do that. I'm like, yeah, dude, that write-off still costs money.
It costs money. Yeah, it's not like it's free.
To write a percentage of that off.
You don't walk up and say like, hey, this is going to be a business write-off, and they're like, oh, well, you can have it for nothing.
Please
enjoy it. Right? Have fun. Anything you want. No. That's no joke. And yes, that stuff's expensive. On top of that, you're beating the dog crap out of your car. So there's that as well. So, and then you got to tow there and back. Unfortunately, none of us, as far as I know, other than Cletus, have the money to have a helicopter, and his helicopter is not big enough to sling load his freaking car to a racetrack.
Yeah.
So guess what? You're getting there via another set of wheels or that set of wheels. And that stuff doesn't happen instantaneously either. So yeah, this stuff is expensive. And for you guys to be doing 2 and 3 and 4 of them in a year, like I know that costs some money, and I know that that's a big ass commitment, and I love it. And I love you for doing it, because it's super fun to see my homies out doing the damn thing.
Yeah, well, now you talk about doing 2 in a month.
Yeah.
You're an animal. You're animals.
We got some well-to-do friends, and we were out here a little while back, and they was talking about how much this costs and how much that costs. And I had my race week shirt on. And I was like, "Well, this shirt's $450."
Right.
Yeah. And they're like,
$475 this year.
They're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yep.
So,
that's only how you show up.
That's just to get the shirt. That doesn't count getting there and the rest of the week.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't even paid money to make one pass. You haven't bought one spark plug. It's $450 for a piece of the fabric on your back and a windshield banner sticker.
Yes.
Well, and here's one thing I think, and this is probably going to be the wrong thing to say, but Dragon Drive is cheap. It's cheap entry, and it's not cheap to do. But for when you start looking at like Texas 2K and FL 2K and stuff like that, this stuff's inexpensive. Like it's $400 for those guys to go race at TX 2K.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I mean, if you break it out, 5 days of track rental.
Yeah.
is,
Oh,
you're doing pretty well. Typically like a private type track rental that we would get like that, where they kind of leave us alone and they're hands off, and we get track prep, is $500 a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, being able to get that for a week for less
Yeah.
than $500 is,
Absolutely.
and especially if you're a dude, you're a crazy person like Greg, and you can make, 12 or 15 passes in a night. You get, you start breaking that down to per pass.
Yes.
And you're $20. That's you can't have more fun than that anywhere in the world ever.
That's one of the conversations me and Greg and me and Michael have talked about before. Is I break everything down to dollar per pass, and that's why we race where we do some of the times. And when you break it down that way, a drag and drive is the most fun you can have bang for buck. Like dollar per pass for sure.
Yep. Agreed.
And if you're Larry Armstrong, it's like $3.
Right.
Because he makes so many.
Yeah, or Ernie Riley.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep. Ernie's my jam. I like Ernie a lot.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to kick you guys off. I want to say thank you for coming in here and spending some time with us. I appreciate it. I can't wait to hang out at Six Summer, and I know that Adam's going to be over there, just like he's foaming at the mouth to look at.
I'm shoving microphones in both your faces, so get ready for that crap.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Thank you for coming on, telling stories. We appreciate it. I love the car. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're part of the big friend group there, and appreciate you doing this for us.
Hey, thank you for having us on here.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, guys.
Heck yeah, dude. Thanks so much for rapping with us. Like, how cool was that to talk to those guys? And like I said, I don't get to do this ever. I sit up in the tower and go, well, Greg went another 1201. Well, Greg went another 1201. Greg went another 1200.
Sadly, Greg needed a 12008 instead of a 12.
Exactly. But actually getting a little bit of chance to sit and talk with people is it's worth the time and effort. So thank you guys so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. See you guys.
Bye.
Dude, awesome.
Bro.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's been a lot of fun. And bro, listen to me when I tell you. Thank you for
you fixed it.
Oh yeah, while you were working, I was fixing it. But if I put it on there while we have three people on the screen, it cuts the bottom half of their chin off. So I figured I would work on that while we were talking. And thank you for taking over the show for the 2 or 3 minutes that I was absolutely nowhere to be found. I was gone.
It happens. Like I said, I was just really touting Male and we were talking co-pilots and stuff, and it was all good. So it is what it is. But dude, thank you for having me on.
That was great.
These are big shoes to fill. Eric kills it on this show with you, and does a lot of the kind of background stuff that you see kind of happening, and that's that's got Eric's fingerprints all over it. So it was super cool to kind of slide in here and fill those shoes. And like I said, they're big shoes to fill, but I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope Eric's having a blast with Jeff O, because that is one of the best dudes, like overall human beings on the planet. And I really, really hope that they're having a good time.
Yeah, I was trying to see if he had sent me any messages, but they must be busy, because he has not sent me any messages. That jerk.
Well, he's like, you know what? I'm off. It's like when you're off of work and you turn off your work phone. He's like, I'll let those guys do whatever they're going to do, and they can sync. And I'll be over here partying with the Crispy Camino and Jeff O and doing the Pittsburgh thing.
That's right. So, all right. Well, stay with me. I'm gonna put you backstage. Give one big shout out. Tell everybody where they can find you, what your live stream schedule is, and all that stuff.
Totally. So I do the podcast Tuesday nights, 7:00 Mountain Time. So that's 8:00 your time typically. Pretty much everyone I have is Central Time. And I do that. I try to do that as much as I can on Tuesdays, because I don't want to be on aside from this one, because we have the same people that watch yours that watch mine. So I try not to make them force them to choose a side, but that's Cool Drink. You can find that on my YouTube. It's the @Adam Dorey. That happens there. It also happens on Facebook as well. On my Facebook, I do have a That's Cool Drink page going on, but I can't stream to that anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah. Thanks,
so it is what it is. But I've got a lot of stuff kind of going on there. There's some people asking questions and things like that in there. So check that out. That's Cool Drink on Facebook, Adam Dorey on YouTube, and Adam Dorey on Facebook. You will see me on Freedom Plus coming up next week for 6 Summer, and then Rocky Mountain Race Week on Bang Shift. That's my June. So
yeah,
you'll
that's
see
going
me
to be
around.
great. I'm excited. All right, stay with me. I'm going to finish this thing out.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the comments. Sorry, my air compressor just came on, but hey, that's the way it works when you work in the shop out here in the podcast room. Y'all, I appreciate you so much. And I just want to say thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to our race car friends. Thank you all for being a part of this whole program. And I want to say thanks to WAF Racing for coming on as a new sponsor. I don't even have them up on the Race Car Friends decal here, but thank you for our race car friends. Thank you to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, WAF Racing, Car Chains 3D, Howard's Cams, Performer Built Transmission, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk, and Power Tube TV. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon. All righty.